Bum, 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 bum. Just waiting for people to come in. Oh, got a pimple there. I just want to say, as people are coming in, that this has been a absolutely remarkable week in the era of COVID. I actually calling it Victory Week. And what that means is that our side, and I'll talk about our side in a second, is being vindicated from all sides. Even though we never wanted to be. We actually wanted to be wrong. Now, I'll talk you through it. So right now, the government has just come out, and you'll see other people talking about this, and stated that people under 18 and children should not. They don't advise you to take the COVID jab. And pregnant women, they're saying, they don't advise you to take the COVID vaccination because the risk outweighs the reward. This is the Australian government saying this. You can look it up. Also, there was a radio station in Sydney where our friends, George Keswick and Rosemary Marshall, got on to a mainstream talkback radio guy, and he actually admitted online, the host, that he was wrong to push the COVID shots, and that on retrospect, he has completely changed his mind and thinks there needs to be investigation and all these other things. He just thinks he was wrong, and he's apologizing for being wrong. And then the other great defeat for the other side, I hate to say it, the ones who are pro-jab, is that MSN and SBS, ABC and all the major channels basically pushed the new variant this week like crazy and urged people to take the booster. And they were saying things like the health system is outraged that people aren't taking the booster. And what happened is it died on it's like a cavalry attack. Their last cavalry attack, the charge of the Light Brigade, where they're really trying, and it just completely failed. If you go see any of the posts on any social media posts, from the Sunrise post, there was an ABC one I think I saw from Perth and stuff. If you look at the comments, there are thousands of comments. Most of the comments are from people who took the vaccination, not the people who didn't, the people who took it, and they're saying adamantly they're never going to take it again. They're scoffing it, they're angry. This is their own people who no longer want to take this stuff. And they're trying to frighten them with this new variant, and the fear, the people are not frightened anymore. And what I wanted to talk about our tribe is that, so this is the government coming out and saying, okay, in their own ways, maybe we were wrong to push it on everyone. Maybe we were wrong to go into schools with pop-up inoculation centers and just inoculate all the kids we could. Maybe we overreacted or something. That's in the subtext of what they're saying. But there was another group of people, I call them the tribe, some people call them the freedom movement, who are in it, who have been questioning this from the beginning. Absolutely questioning this from the beginning. Not only were they questioning it, they were so concerned that they went to marches. They got themselves arrested. Some got shot by rubber bullets. If you look at the real Rukshan's footage from the shrine, at the protest there, you can see protesters getting shot, and basically the reporters who were there never actually covered the shooting. They just came up with a lie that we were urinating on the shrine, even though there's no physical evidence of that. Basically, the mainstream media attacked anyone who was questioning the jab. If you were a doctor who questioned it, you got deregistered. If you were a nurse, you got deregistered and sacked. But all the way down the rule, I mean, I've met trolley boys from Coles who couldn't work anymore as trolley boys because they didn't want to take it. Across the country, people did stand up, and they paid a price for standing up, but they've been ostracized by you, the mainstream community who was following the mainstream media and the narrative, actually ostracized their own family members. There's Christmas where the people who questioned the government were not allowed to come to Christmas. That was the extent of the basically being ostracized. And yet these people, instead of giving in and going, oh, maybe, I don't know, I don't care, I just want to be liked, so I'm not going to stand my ground, they actually came together. They did these great marches. They did the great epic gathering where people came from all around Australia just questioning and asking the government, basically, are you sure we have real questions about the jab? And it was pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed. But now this little tribe of ours, we were a part of what's happening now, but we have an ally. And the ally is the amount of ordinary people who basically believed the government or gave into the government because they had to keep their job for whatever reason, and they've been injured. They were affected. They've been changed. Maybe they're constantly sick. Maybe the kids are constantly sick. This is where we are. It's an awareness happening in the community as the community is going, nah, we're not taking any more. There's something really sus about this stuff. And you can try frighten us all you want, but the answer is no. And this is victory. And for our side. And all I want to say to people out there, anyone who stood up against what was happening in the last few years was never the enemy of the people. We were portrayed as that, rednecks, Nazis even, but we were never the enemy of the people. In fact, we were completely, utterly concerned for the people. So concerned, we risked, and many of us did, people lost jobs, people lost their houses, people lost their social standing, people lost their careers. This is how it's been. These people went through this much pain and this much of an ordeal, and in that they had to find great strengths, and they have. So they have transformed because they've had to find great strengths because no one had their back except the tribe. But these people have been through these great trials for the community, trying to just warn the community that something's wrong. And now the government agrees. After 5 years, the government is coming out and going, don't give it to 18-year-olds, there's too much. And the reality is there's too much myocarditis and heart issues. Don't give it to the young people. Don't give it to pregnant mothers. And now the radio stations and others are coming out too. So the tide has finally changed. And if you have cut someone out of your life because you were frightened because they weren't following the government narrative, maybe it's a time to listen to them and realize they were never your enemy, ever your enemy. In fact, they were so deeply concerned for you that they walked through fire to try to get you to listen. We're a good country. We're worth fighting for. As a people, we're worth fighting for. And we can get past this and be much stronger. But we need to talk. We need to talk. You cannot fix things. You cannot get stronger. You cannot defend yourselves against what's coming by hiding in silence. It's time to realize something bad really happened, and we have to do whatever it is to make sure it never happens again. Good luck.